Welcome back, guys, and thanks for joining me for another beer review and a little bit of a history lesson. Now, the reason you're getting a little bit of a history lesson was because the beer I'm about to do, I was very curious of what the style was, just because of the name of it. So I searched it and I got a load of stuff up actually about the brewery, which is quite interesting. So quickly, let's crack on. This is a beer that my wife picked up from like a food and drink festival in Oswald Street. And she picked it up from the Black Forest Deli that's in Oswald Street Market. They basically just do lots of German stuff. So that's given a little bit of a clue away as to what I got. We've got a German beer. And what we've got is from Weltenburger kloster. And this is their Barock dunkel. Now what I was searching was, what is a Barock dunkel or Barock dunkel? I was very curious. But before we get onto that, I'm going to do some of the typical sort of stuff. It's a 500ml bottle, 4.7%, £3.50 this cost. Typical sort of artwork that you see on these beers. Apologies for the light, unless I close the curtains. It's a bit of a pain. Do like it though. There's the old Weltenburger kloster bottle cap. So, as I said, I was curious to what a Barock dunkel was, or a Barock dunkel. I know a dunkel is a dark lager, but I was curious whether this was any different. So I searched it on Google, and what I got was basically a thing about Weltenburger kloster, which, as it happens, and here's where the history lesson starts, Weltenburger kloster is actually a Benedictine monastery, and it's when I get my words out, it's existed for nearly 1,000 years. Apparently it's the second oldest known brewery and was founded in 1050, and it's been brewing since then up until the present day, apart from 1803 to 1858 when the monastery was dissolved during the Napoleonic era. I'll just do my usual screen shit. And apparently they claim that their dunkel is the world's oldest dark beer. So there you go. You've got a little bit of history. I would have never thought it was a monastery that was a brewery. Anyway, that's enough of that. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. We're still getting the old camera thing. I do apologise. So yeah, basically it's a dark lager. That's why they've called it Barock dunkel or Barock dunkel. I don't know, but it's a dark lager. So there we go. Let's get it cracked open. Get it into a good old like half stein and see what we get. I've had a few of their beers and I had no idea that it was a monastery. It's amazing what you can find out. Now they claim it's the oldest dark beer, but what I saw it on, somebody was saying they're not necessarily certain. But hey ho, a dreadful pour, plenty of carbonation. Look at the state of that. I mean, even by, there we go, there's a line on the side, can you see it? That says a pint. I've not exactly poured that very well. It is a nucleated glass, and I don't know if you can see, if I turn it round, maybe, I don't know. You should be able to just see like a slightly hazy thing going up. It's wild carbonation. It's sort of caramel copper in colour. We've got a huge 3-finger of, it's slightly tan, isn't it? You can see that. It's slightly tan. I'm not going to top it up because it's just going to go nuts. But yeah, dark lager. It looks like a dark lager. So let's stop waffling on. I'll try and give it a spin in the old glass and see if I can get anything out. We'll probably have Ed up there in a minute. But let's dive in with the nose. Give it a sniff. Yeah, very, very, very... I'm surprised. It's got that sort of big malty aroma with that sort of animal feed sort of whiff to it, which is something I'm not a big fan of. But yeah, it's very sort of animal feedy. Obviously, there's a big head on it, so I'm probably not picking everything up. But I'm getting a big malty animal feed aroma, which I'm not personally keen on. There is a little inkling of hoppiness and maybe a little bit of a fruity aroma, but overall it's just big animal feed sort of a smell. So let's dive in with Weltenburger kloster's Barock dunkel, coming in at 4.7%. Cheers. Going again. Do that bloody screen thing again as well. It does my head in. In all fairness, it's a typical lager body. And actually, when I done IKEA's dark lager, I feel I was maybe a little bit harsh. I mean, this is German. German stuff is generally good. If something's as it is from a German brewery, if another brewery or someone copies it and it's the same, you can't really complain. So I've maybe been a little bit harsh on the IKEA dark lager, saying it felt a little bit thin, maybe, because this is quite light, in all honesty. Again, it is a lager. Nicely carbonated though. Nice and smooth, nice and soft. I can't argue with that. Taste wise, now what I said on the nose, that big multi-animal feed feel to it. The first mouthful or two, I really got that. I really got that. And I've got to admit, for me personally, it wasn't pleasant, if I'm totally honest. But now I've had a couple of mouthfuls, the palate has adjusted. It doesn't feel as strong. It's almost like have that mouthful and it's gone. There are some beers I've had where that horrible sort of animal feed taste has hung around. This is sort of, it's there until your palate adjusts, like I say, and it's gone. Now it's just malty. Big on malt. There's a big toffee hit in there. I would say you're getting a nice, not a massive toffee hit, but you are getting a toffee sort of sweetness to it. Excuse me. I burped while I was having a sip there. I do apologise. It's earthy. It's got that sort of earthy feel. It's got a nutty feel to it. It's for me, it's quite simple. It's got that nutty, earthy feel. It's quite malty. There's a little bit of toffee in there. You do get the hops. Again, the hops, I'm not sure what hops they use in it. They're going to be German hops, I'm guessing. I don't suppose it's sort of anything like an English ale, but it has that feel of an English ale, even though it's a lager. You do still get a bit of that animal feed thing on the nose, which isn't the nicest thing to go in on, personally, for me. But it drinks nice. It drinks like a lager as well. It's quite easy drinking. I'm not going to say it's the lightest body ever, although I did say it's not particularly heavy, but it's typical lager body, but drinks really nice. 4.7%. Yeah, that's drinking 4.7%. I mean, that could be anything from 4.7 up to about 5.3, 5.4 in my opinion, because it does have that feel. But I'll tell you what, it's a nice little drop. If we could get that aroma out my nose from what you get at the start and out the glass, I would like it. Again, you got that little bit until the palate adjusts, that sort of animal feed thing, but after that, the beer is really nice. Would I pick it up again? I'd drink that again, yeah. It's very decent. So yeah, Weltenburger Kloster's Barock Dunkel gets a thumbs up from me. I like that once I get past them little issues. After that, the beer is actually a decent quality beer, and it does what it's supposed to do. Recommend picking it up, like I said. I was starting to worry about what I was going to say there. Recommend picking it up if you see it. Give it a go. If you like your dunkels and you like a lager and all that lot. That's something a little bit different, obviously, to your normal lager. If you've had it before, feel free to comment. I'm rambling on. Shut the fuck up. Feel free to subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy your Tuesday. And I'll see you again soon on another beer review. Cheers.